So, today, let's learn about the heart. Okay, so this is the heart. Let's start by first naming the first four main chambers of the heart. The right atrium, the right ventricle, the left atrium, and the left ventricle. Now, there are three things that separate these chambers. First is the septum. The septum is a wall that separates the right and left side of the heart, so that blood never flows directly from the right to the left side. It never flows that way. Next is the tricuspid valve. Tricuspid valve separates the right atrium from the right ventricle. It opens only when blood needs to flow from the atrium to the ventricle. The third one is the bicuspid valve. This separates the left atrium from the left ventricle. Other than that, it's got the same functions as the tricuspid valve. Moving on to the circulatory processes. This all happens in a very fast rate in our human body, so that every inch of our body can be provided with enough oxygenated blood. And oxygenated blood is the blood that contains oxygen and nutrients needed for metabolism. First thing that happens is blood flows into the heart. It's brought in through two blood vessels, and these are the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava. They bring in deoxygenated blood from all over the body to the heart. Deoxygenated blood is the blood that contains metabolic wastes like carbon dioxide. It also contains oxygen, but in very, very low quantities. We'll learn further about how blood from all over the body flows into the heart and is pumped out all over. First, there are two main movements of the heart, which is the systole and the diastole. The diastole is when the two upper chambers contract or compress, forcing blood into the bottom chambers. And systole is when the two bottom chambers contract or compress, forcing blood out of the heart. Okay? The next step here is diastole. The valves are pulled by tendons, which are like attached to the ventricle's wall. These tendons are called chordae tendineae. When these tendons contract, the valves open and the blood rushes into the ventricle. Then systole takes place. When this happens, the tricuspid valve closes and the semilunar valve opens. This lets blood into the pulmonary artery. This is the pulmonary artery. And this is the only artery to carry deoxygenated blood. This is because it takes deoxygenated blood to the lungs to be purified. Then once it's been purified, the oxygenated blood returns to the heart. It comes in through two blood vessels, which are called pulmonary veins. And these are the only veins that carry oxygenated blood. And now again, diastole happens and the bicuspid valve opens, letting blood to flow into the left ventricle. And then when systole happens, blood is pushed with extreme pressure into the aorta. Which also has a semilunar valve so that there can be no backflow. The left ventricle has a thicker cardiac wall, as you can see here, to withstand the immense pressure that is needed for the blood to be pumped out to the entire body. What I have just explained is called double circulation. It includes the pulmonary, circulation, which is when blood goes from the heart to the lungs, and oxygenated blood comes back from the lungs to the heart. And the other one is systemic circulation. This is from the body to the heart and back to the body.